Yeah, Rafi, that's a very good practice routine. I mean, back in the day, during COVID, people started learning about the ghost and what the ghost was in this generation. But we used to practice against the ghost all the time. And when I was disciplined playing, I would, even if the biggest fish walked into the pool room, I would not play him until I was done doing my practice drills and playing the ghost. So first I did drills, practiced the break, drills again, like a different drill, and then I played the ghost. 3 sets, best of 10. And I would gauge myself what percentage out of 10 racks am I breaking and running out. And if I'll, and that, if I was feeling, good that day or playing well that day and the full potential, I wouldn't take ball in hand after the break. It was a true break and run with no ball in hand against the ghost. That's strong. Or it's tough. So yeah, I was very proud to be able to do that. But even though with ball in hand, it's still tough to do. So as long as you're getting the best of 10, you know how to gauge your play. And here we have this next set underway. Briana Miller on the left of your screen. Nicole Nester on your right with the 3-ball. Both short on the lag, but Nicole gets it. 3-ball wins the lag. Nicole will be breaking all odd-numbered racks. Still fighting for survival. This is Nicole versus Briana. Race to 5. Alternate break format for those just tuning in. Nicole is still hot from playing on this table last set. Let's see, she's acclimated to this table, so let's see how well and how quickly Briana gets acclimated to the table. She played on here way earlier, a few sets ago. So she's going to have to learn this table pretty quickly. I'm surprised the players here haven't taken a rack to warm up. Or at least the incoming player should have a rack to hit a few balls and try to get acclimated to the table to level out the advantage. Once again, stop shot break. Wing ball goes in. Actually, that was even too powerful because the 1 ball got to the middle of the short rail. So, yes, at a decent level. The women are breaking just as well as the men, or just as consistently for the select field. Okay, overruns this one, leaves the 1 ball hanging in the side pocket, straight in, cue ball. Close to the rail, Briana's limited on her options for the cue ball. Has to roll up nice and easy. She can't dig into it to stop it. She just has to roll this one. She'll have a back cut on the 2 to come around 2 rails on the 8-ball. Now she's pointing further from the 1 than I think she will be. I think she can roll it in a little bit slower. I don't want to say lag speed, but a little bit more than lag, less than pocket speed. Just to drop the 1 and hold the cue ball halfway between where the 1 is and where she's pointing, I believe. Nope, she decides to go for the safe instead. Does not get it behind the 4 and leaves a shot for Nicole now. I don't think she had that tough of a shot to hold the cue ball. I mean, it was a little bit long on the 2, but it was natural. Coming around 2 rails around the 8-ball for the 3. But once again, she's just starting out. She has to get acclimated to the table speed. She doesn't want to take any chances yet. Neither does Nicole. We're going to start out slow this rack. A little weak on that shot. Did not get the 1 ball past the 6.
If anything.
And now this is a natural built-in 2-way here.
Yeah.
Playing for the same pocket with the 1 ball in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Following up with a 2-ball. 1 ball plus of your screen.
Oh, there's the clarification of the screen. I'm like, now I know with you.
Yeah, no.
Because if I commentate, I usually just call it whatever it looks like on
Whatever
the
you
screen.
visually see. It's older terminology. Times change, things change. She goes to the opposite
Nice
pocket
shots. Not a
and
great
no
lead.
position on the 2-ball.
Not a great position. She could bank it. She could cut it into the corner, into the top left corner. Depends on what she wants to do. It looks like she might be
She's looking for the
doing
backup
safe.
first option and going behind the 6-ball. Yep.
Yeah, it
Behind
looks
the
like
cluster.
she's
She's got a
trying to
nice
find a
wall
way.
there.
Yeah, trying to find a way to get down over there. But
Unfortunately,
it might.
the perfect
I think.
spot to hit on the rail is the pocket, so it might be on the
Right.
pocket. So
In
she has to
which
go a
case,
little bit higher up on the
I mean,
screen.
why not just go for the kick in the side and the three ball is prime? I mean, it
If
would
she
give you
can,
natural.
nah, the only way you're gonna have a two-way shot there is if you
I mean, it
hold it.
wouldn't be a two-way.
You know what I'm saying? If you hold it behind the,
She did what I said.
I was gonna say, if she drew back on that, I'm saying she can play it safely by drawing back behind the 8 ball on that and still have a shot on the 3.
Oh.
But she didn't need to. She fired in. Why
Yeah,
bother?
I
Just make the
wasn't
ball.
thinking. I wasn't thinking of a two-way. I was thinking
Yeah.
just fully aggressive. You have a chance to make it and get natural
Yeah,
for the three. Might as well go for it.
Yeah, she would still have sight of the 3 if she drew back like half
She
a foot.
jolted a bit
But
with
yeah,
that.
she
You
jumped
saw
up
the
with that.
body
A little
movement.
jerky.
Yeah,
First rack jitters.
yeah. And Nicole has come off
Acclimating
of
to the
just
table.
playing on this table
Yeah, I
compared
had
to
that when you stepped
Briana.
away.
Yeah,
I was discussing that when you stepped away. When you're getting on a table, it's always great if you're just approaching that table and you know you're down to the final table where the player just played.
yeah,
Hit a rack.
yeah.
Hit a rack. Most of your opponents are not going to mind you hitting a rack, and then they hit a rack or if they want, if they need to.
I mean,
But
if
the
they just
incoming
got off
player,
the table, they shouldn't need
that should
to hit
actually
a
be
rank.
that should actually be a tournament rule.
It should.
As a matter of fact, a
If they-
courtesy rule.
Yeah, it
Incoming
is.
player
Yeah,
gets a rack or two to hit around
it
to
should be
acclimate to the
one.
table.
It should be
Maybe one,
one
so we don't take
rack.
it too long. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if a tournament is running late. But even a few balls, like it doesn't even have to be a full rack, but to get the feel of the table. If you didn't get a chance to shoot around and warm up, or if it's been a while since you shot on that table, the incoming player who just shot on this table because it's towards the end of the tournament anyway. These tournaments are for a decent amount of money. So yeah, they should, to level the playing field a little, the incoming player should try to acclimate.
All right, tough leave on the 7 ball here. Which one will she choose? Cue ball or 7 ball behind the 9? 7 ball behind. 4 attempts. Cue ball. Short rail. Not frozen to the short rail. Lots of room for a fair shot at the 7 ball in the top left corner of your screen. Easily rolled in there, staying steady, keeping it simple, just securing, pocketing the ball there. Nothing special with the cue ball. Nicole just making sure she gets this first rack under her belt.
Oh, unexpected. Not a terrible miss.
No, she didn't miss poorly. I'm looking at the 8 ball towards the center of the short rail and the cue ball back over and up table. Half a block by the 9.
Raffy, that is an interesting. That's almost like playing the ghost.
And the cue ball's coming up. Does stay clear of the 9 ball,
This
giving
is-
Briana this nice easy 9 here.
Oh.
A little straight though. Let's see.
Oh.
Draw this back.
Briana knows how to manipulate.
Mhm.
In
Love
every
it.
scenario, she could even follow this up high
Yeah.
left if she really wanted.
She can
There's
go
so
either
many
way.
ways. There's so many ways that she could do this.
She punched it out.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, I would never. She made it look too easy, that shot.
Down goes the 9, and up goes Briana. 1-0. First blood drawn.
Did you see Rafi's comment about what he and
Yeah,
Corey
I already
used to
commented
do?
on
Oh,
that.
did you?
Yeah, we had a
Oh,
whole
you're ahead
conversation
of
while
me.
you were texting.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
did you?
yeah.
I thought you were talking. Okay, fine.
You were sitting right here.
Anything you hear on the air, I love to tease. So we tease those we love, and I love to tease. So it's all good fun and banter. Wing ball flies straight in. One ball tracks towards the corner pocket with the cue ball above it for a change, and that's actually perfect. You can shoot the one ball in the top left corner of your screen, following it up to the center of the table for a nice angle on the 2. And from center table on the 2 ball, a little low left to come back up table for the 4.
Can you put? Okay, no, that's perfect.
Nice and clean. Ball left zigzagging back up table for the 4, as mentioned beforehand. He has a little bit of an angle to catch a short rail and go back down table for the 5, but
Finicky level. Oh, okay, not that big. Not that big. Not that big.
and in trying to manipulate the angle there, get the most out of it, sacrifices the shot on the 4. And we've all seen that before, where you mishit it and the cue ball replaces the object ball that you're trying to make. The cue ball goes in and the object ball goes in the direction of the cue, or the opposite direction of the cue ball. We've all done that once or twice. Good cue ball there. Nice easy roll forward for the 6. Looks like she's too straight in on the 6 ball here. Let's see if she just rolls up and settles for it, or if she has a little bit of an angle to try to draw out of
Even if she
it.
stops it.
Yep, let's draw out a little bit.
Now this.
Simple enough. You got to let it go back and forth. Don't try to hold it. Pocket the 7. Go 2 rails back and forth
And
across the
plan
table.
for the 8 in the side.
Or 8 on the side or down bottom right-hand corner of the screen. See, she's trying to hold it. I don't like that.
I think that was a
Yeah,
good shot.
it was well done.
It was
but
a nice
it's
speed.
dangerous.
It wasn't too soft where with that speed, if she didn't pocket it, I think it would have bounced out somewhere depending on how she missed.
She held it very well. It's just
Yeah.
it's risky to do that.
It wasn't super powerful, but it did the job and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't too soft. It wasn't like a baby shot. She did strike
Right,
it in.
right. She didn't baby it. All right. That rack goes down to tie it up. One game apiece. I like how you said it better. 1-1.
1-1.
You do that every rack.
2-2.
Well, you can't
right.
just jump to from 1-1 to 2-2. Next rack will be 2-1 one
I
way,
was
right?
just predicting what it might be at that point, Ed.
It may very well be. It may very well be.
I'm just
2-2.
2-2.
Shrink.
See, that sounds much more fun. 2-2. All right.
We need to wake everyone up out there. We're in the midnight hour now, burning the midnight oil, technically, just past midnight here. For those of you that are tuning in away from the East Coast or from overseas, and the tens of thousands of viewers out there.
Yeah, we asked for a roll call of where you're around. I
They're
think only Rafi really answered, and he said suburbs of Philly. I
Yep.
don't know, like, you know how many suburbs of Philly there are?
Well, Philly's not that large.
Yeah, not at all.
Not huge. It's not huge. Not big at all.
All I considered where I was born and raised to be a suburb of Philly, and that's like an hour of here.
Was that New York?
All right. So Nicole has
Camden is a suburb of Philly.
I mean, technically.
Technically,
No.
no. All right, let's see where this cue
Oh,
ball does
oh,
avoid
that
the corner
was
pocket and where
close.
does it wind up. She does.
Oh,
No,
man,
it does lock
wow.
up on the 6 ball. I thought she was going to have a little bit of a sliver of the 1,
Oh.
but nope.
The way that slid up on that 6 made it interesting. Tyler, nice to hear from you. Thank you for chiming in.
Yep, shout out to Tyler out there.
She can see it.
I like to see a
Good
lively
save.
chat room. But
Yeah.
so far, my generation is hanging tight, active, wide awake,
This is true. This
and
is
all
true.
you young bucks are passing out
Yo,
right now.
guys, I need
Weak.
my generation to
Weak.
kind of kick in here. Tyler was like more on my side.
Gen X represent.
Is it?
I'm Gen X, yeah.
Anyway,
We're Gen X.
come on, guys. Like, we want to hear from you. We love to hear a conversation. Hear, read, however you want to say it.
Look at this one ball carom off the 2 for a shot in the corner.
This is not
Not easy, though. No, it might be too far over
I
on
don't
the
think,
rail.
I don't think that goes. I mean, for Briana, she could, and then to.
I'll tell you what,
This is such
it
a.
is
This is
playable,
the safe. This is the safe.
but-
This is the full safe. Because why? What's even the point? Even if you hit the 8 and get stuck up there, the 2 is terrible.
Yep,
Yeah,
the
you
double
want to do
kiss.
that.
She does escape the double kiss and does get behind the 2 ball. Well done.
The double kiss actually worked out
Yep.
pretty nicely.
Mm-hmm. Not planned, but worked out.
Exactly, Tyler. You're a young buck like me, and so we need more young bucks to chip in.
Can you define a young buck? What is
Uh,
young to you guys?
I mean,
Harry?
I
Younger
feel like as the older I get, the higher the number becomes.
Right? It's true. It never ends. When you're young, 40
I mean,
is old as dirt.
young-
30 is old as dirt.
Young buck is
Then-
the opposite side of where you're on.
You're like in your late 20s, 40 is old. And then when you're in your mid 30s, 55 is old. Then
Oh.
when you hit 40, 60 is old.
It all depends on how you act. Age is just a number. If you act young, it's fine. You're the one who brought
I'm
up
never growing up.
generations, and
I just said we're the only ones that are more active in the chat room.
I know, but you brought up the generation aspect. So
Yeah,
anyway,
competitive.
I see.
Gen X still hangs tough.
That was a nice save. Very nice save by Nicole.
And as I'm saying this, I think they're falling asleep now.
Christopher, yes. I say yes.
I'll tell you what. I'm 47. You're young. You're young, Christopher.
Yes, that is.
I'll
Yes,
call you a young
that's
man.
the young buck side.
I still say 25's young buck. But
Yeah, 25 is young buck
25,
too, of
27.
course. But
25 's not
32, 32 fits in
and I don't
young
want to give
buck.
your age out there.
No, I'm 32.
In the range, in the range.
I'm 32
Oh,
exactly
you're
as
32
well.
now?
Yes.
Oh, you just turned. That's right. You just turned. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. New
Yep.
age, new
Mhm.
age. But yes, 32 is still young. Yes, Tyler is a tough competitor. I've actually helped commentate for a couple of tournaments that he's been in the final rankings of. Very tough competitor. So Nicole now has ball in hand. Table is pretty open. No ball seems to be an issue by any means. So just getting the layout. Everything should kind of be stop.
There's
Even
good
this.
placement, drift over a bit.
Even
good
this,
knowledge
if
of
she
the cue
just
ball.
stops it. If she just stops it, even like a slight mini draw, but not really, because she wants
Just to hold it.
kind of an angle on the 5 so she can hit the long rail and come back out to center for the 6. So this might be the trickiest shot in this rack is
Positioning for the 5.
yeah, like between the 3 to the 5 to the 6. Like this is the trickiest spot right here. Nice
Also
way to
railing
do
out.
it.
Perfectly in line
Beautiful.
with where she was pointing.
And she has a great angle for this. This should be easy. Straight up. No, she doesn't need any spin or anything. Just high. Get to the rail, come out to center.
Yep, just hold it right there.
Or that. I feel like this was I was expecting it to play a little
Yep,
differently.
just hold it.
Because the 7 goes so nicely in the side, which is
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta
hit
come
the
out 2
long rail and
rails.
came out to center, You could have stopped the 6,
Oh,
and
look at
then
this.
you could have stopped the 6 and played the 7 in the side, and the 8. It just all played perfectly.
I think you threw her off. She heard you. Okay.
You got me so nervous.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's too loud in here.
Don't do that.
We're like leaning into the
Oh my
microphones
goodness.
with talking.
I don't know.
There's no way to
I
hear
did
us.
feel like I was
With all the
getting
noise in
loud.
here, plus we have headphones on, so we can hear the noise
Oh,
through the headphones.
geez.
They're
I
not
really
hearing.
hope I didn't.
I'm joking. It's the microphone jinx.
But yeah, no, I did not. I definitely thought she would have played that differently.
Well, Brianna's in a position you predicted.
Right, yeah.
So she just stopped the cue ball there
Yep.
for a shot on the side and the 7 ball.
Which-
Now just rolling up center table right here. She can go to the long rail if she wants to.
There's
Depends on the
many-
angle, but there's no need.
It's almost
drift
like
out.
it's almost like any way that she got except straight on would be fine. She would be. You could figure out any way to get to the 9, as long as you're not straight on. In which case, she kind of got straight on.
I think Brianna's now picking up her pace of play. She's getting comfortable at the table now.
yeah.
2 rails coming up for the
Oh.
9 ball, out of line. Way too much side spin.
I think she was
Just
trying to
high.
aim for. I feel like she was trying to aim for the 9 in the side. That's why
Do
she
you?
put as
I
much.
think she was going for the corner.
She might
but-
have. But
I like
the
going in,
amount of speed
playing
that
the
she
line
put
of the
on
9
that,
ball.
the amount of speed that she put on that, it definitely made it seem like she was.
You know what I think? I think she was pretty straight. And again, the
Yeah,
camera
she
angles on
was.
the line.
It
So
did
you're going to
look
need
straight.
that power to force through and
Right.
create an angle to
And
catch
then
the short rail
that
and then
makes
spin out.
sense. That makes
So
sense.
I think she was trying to play the line into
Right.
the corner pocket.
Right,
And it
yeah.
just went too wide.
That, yeah, especially with how much time she took to look at this shot. I think you're spot on there. It's fact. 2-1.
There you go. Hey, I wish we could have a little bit more fun doing this stream, you know? Yeah, a little bit of fatigue showing for sure, Tyler. Definitely.
Only to
players
be
been playing long play.
expected.
Yep.
Especially when
Yep.
but there's been a few breaks in play, especially if you were further into the B side or further into the A side. On either side, there's been decent breaks. So when you have that break, you have a chance to kind of slow down, and the fatigue really kind of settles in.
I'm just reading Caleb's comment. He snores too. Travel buddies. Your secrets are not safe.
Yeah, I feel bad for my travel buddies. Not that I snore, but it's almost impossible to wake me up.
Is it?
Yeah, I had Teresa stay with me last night. She's the reason why I was so tired today.
She
Putting
kept you
that
up late?
out there. She did. I'm going to blame it on her. No.
Is she a young buck you can't hang
She
with?
is a young buck. I hang. I just don't hang in the morning. So she was like ready to come for practice. I'm like, no. She's like, I'm not going to leave you here. I was like, I'll walk.
Yeah.
I will walk. It's
One
fine.
ball rolling in wide to the left, and it's going
Oh,
to hang up in the
jeez.
corner. But look at this fortunate
What a save.
speed.
Yeah, two-way.
Yeah, you see her put the hand up, apologizing
Yeah.
for getting lucky.
I don't see. I don't.
You don't like apologize for that.
Even I mean, it's not even just apologize for this, but I even see it in WPBA of apologizing when a ball gets lucked in or
Lucked in,
slopped
yeah.
in.
It's the
I mean,
game.
it is
It's the
the
game.
game. It is
Yeah.
the game. It is
Are you,
what it
and here's the
is.
thing. Here's my question. Are you truly sorry?
No, of
no,
course
you're
you're
happy as
not.
shit. Come on.
Of course you're not.
Excuse my
In
language
which
on the
case-
air on the stream. I'm getting comfortable.
It just to
Yeah.
me, I'm
You're
not
happy as a
that
pig in mud.
I'm not that type of person. But I feel like as
That's a courtesy, right?
No, but coming lately, I see it happen all the time now, and I'm like, I don't want an apology from my opponent if they luck in a ball, or if they didn't intend to save but they saved. Like I don't want the apology. Like it is what it is. I have to figure a way out of it. I don't care if you're sorry or
Smile and
not.
Fist bump. Yeah. Smile and fist pump.
If
Act it up.
anything,
Play it up.
I actually would prefer my opponent to be more like, yeah, you know, or just be like, haha,
I'll tell you
take
what. Yeah,
that,
turn around
you
like,
know?
mhm.
Yeah, you know, something like that. I would actually kind of prefer, just because, yeah, I mean, obviously you weren't intending that, but don't apologize.
It's part of the game. If you don't
Maybe
like
it's
it,
just me.
play a
I don't know.
different game.
That was a great shot.
very, very well played shot there. Almost 100% eclipsed by the 8
Almost.
ball.
I think Nicole might have just a tiny sliver of it to see.
But what are you playing
No.
here?
She might
What-
not.
how
The
do you-
way she's looking, she doesn't
No.
have a sliver.
What are you playing here, though? Like, how do you
You
play
would
this
have
wave?
to hit. You would have to hit rail first.
Of
I mean,
course.
it's either
It's like almost play the shot.
because
It's almost
yeah,
forcing you to
it's
play it.
It does. It does force you to play it. But you could kick it both ways. You could go on. I mean, if you're looking at your screen, you could go on the top rail. You could go on the bottom rail. But it was a good attempt.
And
This
how's the
was
speed?
that was
How's the speed? Perfect. Good
that
speed. Now here's the
that was a great shot.
here's a little theory conversation for you. We always talk about good rolls and bad rolls. And here's my outlook on that, my theory on that. A good roll is not when the player kisses a ball unexpectedly and winds up still good on their next shot. A good roll, or let's say a bad roll, is when your opponent's shooting misses a ball and hooks you. That's a bad roll against you,
Yeah.
right?
That-
But when you're at the table, you're in control. There are no good rolls or bad rolls. There are good and bad decisions. And the path that you choose to take with the cue ball, regardless of bumping other balls, if you're taking the correct path on the correct side of balls, it will only bump you in a good way.
Even like look at this shot,
Or you'll
right?
still be
Like
okay.
this wasn't a bad roll for Briana. Nicole was trying to.
She played the
if
correct side
she-
of the ball and the
right, she
correct
was
line on the
trying-
3 ball.
Yeah, exactly. In which case she overcut it, which is a way to do it anyway, and it left in a perfect position.
Well, first behind the 7, perfectly played on
Oh,
the 2
nice.
ball. Speed
Oh,
coming
nice,
around is
Briana.
nice. Very
And-
well executed by Briana. She's getting comfortable here now, and we might see 3-1.
And Chris, yes, they are definitely planning on shooting it all tonight. And Rafi, 100%. I never apologize. It just is what it is. It's also 9 ball. Usually 8 ball you call shot anyway. So if it happens, it happens. Suck it up and deal with it, Buttercup. That's it. All right. Briana got out nicely for the 5. She does have enough angle to come around 2, maybe 3 rails. She has a powerful stroke, so I don't know how many rails she's going to use here. If she does 2, she would end up, if she does like 2, maybe 3, she'd end up on the long rail on the left. She could get behind the 6, and the 6 could either go in the side or in the bottom right corner on your screen. And the speed then wouldn't really matter. And it would be a natural follow-up for the 7, which I think she might have been trying to do. She kind of overhit it. It rolled nicely for her.
Yep. See, there's a bad roll for you for Nicole. Right.
I wouldn't
did you
call
notice
that.
how
I
she
wouldn't
tried-
call that a bad roll at all.
For
No,
Nicole.
no, it's not bad either. I mean, even for
Well,
Nicole,
she's at the table. Let's put it that
I
way.
mean,
She's
unlucky.
fortunate to be at the table.
Right. I mean,
But
unlucky in the
the
sense.
ball's laid that way.
Yeah.
Now, if you notice, Briana tried to muscle that ball
Yeah.
more than stroke it smoothly,
Yeah.
and that's what caused that rattle, and the cue ball didn't travel a lot. With
Yeah.
all that power,
Right.
when the cue ball doesn't move with all that power, you're muscling the ball, which is ironic because we call it muscling the ball. But what gets the ball there is a smooth roll.
Yeah.
So,
And what Nicole tried to save, and it now see that I wouldn't call that a bad roll, but it's just unfortunate. Just like how Nicole's leave at that moment, it just was unfortunate because Briana did make a mistake, and it just ended up being an unfortunate leave for Nicole.
in other words, a bad roll.
Whatever you want to call it, it's fine.
I love the banter. All right, see, nice and smooth, easy does it, medium
Yeah.
speed, smooth motion on the cue ball. Smooth
And this
movement in the cue ball.
this is a perfect natural angle for her to come up. I mean, it's going to be interesting to me. I'm just interested to see what she's going to do to get from the 8 to the 9. Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
boy.
she did it
She
again.
was shooting smoothly, but
She
look at
did
that.
it again. I just wanted to see what she was planning to get from the 8 to the 9 because there's so many ways to do it. I just love to see somebody from her caliber, just what is going through the mind. Now this, once again, fine. A bad roll for Nicole.
Twice in a row. It weighs on the mental game.
But yeah, no, it is. It is unfortunate. I
However-
wouldn't call that a bad roll. It just
I see a nice easy kick and stick here. Well, not easy, but a decent, straightforward kick and stick.
on the short rail, the top
Kick
rail.
behind the
on
7 or
screen.
short rail.
Yeah.
Yep. Kick it with a touch of outside and low.
And try to
Kick
hit
it
like
there.
on
and
our
just
left
leave the cue
side
ball
of the
right where it
7.
is. Just keep the cue ball where the 7 is.
Oh.
Watch the cue ball and let it run.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, see, you gotta leave the separation. You hit the
I
7
was-
ball full in the face,
Oh, okay.
and then you send the 7 ball up table center rail and leave the cue ball where the 7
I
was.
was thinking hitting the 7 on the left side of it, so that way it would hit the long rail and kind of come up towards the center of the short rail on the bottom of your screen.
No,
No.
wrong. No,
Wrong.
I'm kidding.
Negative. No. So
No,
many ways
totally
to do
off.
it.
No, no.
So many ways.
Totally.
All right,
No, I'm
Brianna,
teasing, of
this
course,
is going to be interesting.
Here you go. You want to see this one now?
I think she's going to hit low right.
Low right.
Yeah.
Come back.
I think with Brianna
I
has
believe
so
high
much
left
power.
here sends you in too close to the
Into-
corner
too
to flirt.
close, way too close.
So I agree
Brianna
with
has
you.
so much power
I agree with you
in
on this.
her stroke that this is not out of her wheelhouse.
Now here's the
to
thing. She
draw
has a
back.
powerful stroke to begin with, and she's shooting with a carbon fiber shaft. So it's power overload. She could definitely easily get this cue ball with low right back to her.
It's just making sure you do the right amount.
Smoothly.
She's gonna do it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! What is
She's
what is
patting herself
going
on the head
on?
like, oh my God. You're going to see that on camera.
she's
but
feeling
she's
a bit off at the
not
moment.
feeling it at all. Yep.
This is not the way she normally plays. I see her nail that
She's
ball
like
in.
timid on that shot. She's
It was
very
timid. It was timid. That's a good word, yeah. All right, so Nicole has an opportunity here to cut it. She's going to cut this up the top left corner on your screen. Or side? Was she aiming?
No, I
Was
think
she
just,
aiming for the
I
side?
think you were right on the call. I think she just hit it that bad.
That, no way.
She was trying to go for the. Oh no, she's playing safe. I'm sorry. She's playing the
Was
safe.
it?
Had to be. She had to be playing the safe, but didn't hit it with a steep enough angle.
It almost looked like she
She's
was
too
trying
thin.
for the side. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what she was going for.
Wheels are falling off on both players, unfortunately. Here we go. And here's the thing. Yeah, they're going straight through. It's a true double elimination.
There-
Race to 8
oh,
in the finals.
Bump.
So we're looking for more of an angle on the bump.
I
All
mean,
right.
hey, a
Bottom
bump is a
left-hand
bump.
corner of your screen.
Bump is a bump.
Let's see.
That was we can see space from this angle. We can see space between the cue ball and the 9. So that was
That's good.
a good bump compared to what it could have been.
And when we say bump, folks, we mean the space between the cue ball and the 9. Oh, just a little teaser there, folks.
Wiped its feet on the way in.
There you
That's
go.
for you, George. This is probably past his bedtime. George's commentary, though, always cracks me up. He's like, oh, I love his soul. All right, Brianna leads 3-1. And that was a tough rack for both players. That was a tough rack. They gotta wipe some stuff off, shake, jiggle, whatever they gotta do. They gotta shake off that. Because there's gonna
remember
be
a
some
few racks
intense
ago-
matches coming up.
When there was like a slug rack with the template. Here's a little. You see Nicole struggling with the rack right now. It's not racking cleanly. Over time, there's a break divot that occurs, from the cue ball impacting the head ball over and over again. It's above the 1 ball. And if you don't lay the template in the right position in cooperation with that, in conjunction with that, I should say, then you're going to get a slug-looking rack. I actually had that happen to me when I was racking the finals of the International Open last year. Jason Shaw, I gave him a slug rack, and they were tight and everything, but it wasn't positioned correctly with that break spot. Again, it was the finals. The table was beaten up at that point, or broken in at that point, really, from a long week. And, I put my hand up to Jason. I recognized right away what occurs is the cue ball kind of skips with the 1 ball at that time, and it just gives the same dud as a slug rack, even though all the balls are tightly together.
How do you feel about somebody doing this, leaving the template on the table after play?
It never bothered me. So,
Oh my gosh.
But again, I was also practicing with Bustamante Young, who used to use a lot of powder, and as a shark move, admittingly, sorry, Busty, I'm selling you out, but hey, sorry. He used to intentionally leave handprints of powder on the table to mess with me and other people in tournaments. You
I
know,
mean,
because it bothered people.
but
You have to learn to get over it. Powder is a
doesn't-
slick, is like an
powder-
oil slick.
Powder doesn't affect the roll of the
Sure it
ball.
does. Sure it does. Just like chalk wouldn't cause a skid.
Not as much as a template.
It depends on which template. Again, I refer back to the Outsville AccuRacks, which are fuzzy, simulating the claw,
Yeah.
versus these plastic
Which
ones that
are-
are like transparencies,
Yeah.
and you do skid over these more.
Or
But at a
or the
higher
other
impact,
times
it doesn't
when,
matter.
on the other times when like your object ball is on the rack and your cue ball, and you'll see like when the cue ball hits it,
And turns.
and
Or
it
rocks.
shifts the whole rack, the whole template.
Yep.
I'm like, there's no way that didn't affect my shot.
Absolutely.
There's zero way that didn't
Right.
affect my shot.
It happens, but it's so seldom that it really shouldn't affect the outcome of a match.
It happened to me once, and I never.
I know, but here's
Maybe
my
once
question.
or twice, but I never. No,
Good
that
attempt at the safety,
template
but
is coming off.
we might see a little
Template's
hop,
coming off.
a little jump here over the edge of the 9 ball,
You
third of
think
the
she
9
might
ball.
just
She's
curve
going to
this?
jump
Oh, she is. She's
over
getting
the edge of the
jump.
9 ball, try to pocket the 2 in the side, and follow up into the 3 ball.
Do a little bump on the 3. I would think. She's following.
There you
Oh,
go. Draws it
my
back nice.
goodness.
Good cue
She
ball
was-
control on the jump. Held the rock, did not lose control.
All right, so this is an easy save, but she's probably I don't know what she's doing. I mean, you could go for it. If I was her, I'd probably go for it because I'm so offensive. But there's also an easy opportunity for a safe and put that 3 on the short rail closest to the bottom of your screen. Send the cue ball. Okay, so she did do the safe. I was thinking try to put the cue ball back behind the bunch behind there. But the speed to get the cue ball behind there would probably send the 3 closer to the pocket, in which case you don't want. But this one left Nicole too much of sight. She got that in pretty easily. But this run out isn't easy. The
Let's
balls
see
are
if
all
that
together.
template comes into play here.
It might not. I don't think it is, judging on where the balls are.
Now is she rolling the 4? Does it pass the 7 into the 9 for a safety?
I
can't tell from here.
I can't tell. I can't. If anything, yeah, she would have to hit like the top on your screen. If you're just straight looking at it, she would have to, I think, hit the top side super thin, the 4. But then you're going to hit the 7. If you go the opposite way, I think you might hit the 9.
She tried to use a 9 to stop the 4 ball and get the cue ball on the
But
6
yeah,
ball.
it wasn't super. Now the template's coming off, it looks like.
Yep, it's only
Now see, and also like I
Alright.
don't like how it affects my aim. like-
it distracts you.
A little bit. Not as much as a handprint. If there was a handprint on the table, I really don't think that would affect me much. But there's something about the template bothers me.
And just the mental factor, knowing that you're rolling over something that's not level.
So that must be
Practically
it.
level.
It must be, yeah. I do not like shooting over a
4 ball
template.
goes in clean. Nice little bump on the 7 to clear it out. And now here we have the 6, 7, 9. I think Brianna's getting a little bit more wind back in her sail
yeah.
here. You can see by her demeanor at the table.
Yeah, she is feeling her
Picking
stroke
back
now.
up a little bit. She is leading 3-1 in this race to 5. So this is huge right here to get up on the hill. 4-1. Does not want to take any chances here, make any mistakes, keep things simple. Come on, a little bit more than that now.
Oh,
And not
Well,
enough.
I mean,
Wow,
it
look at
wasn't
that.
enough.
Even a
She's
little
still-
shorter, she's fine the other way.
I mean, this still isn't the worst. Like, if it, I mean,
Not the planned pocket.
it definitely wasn't
But
the planned pocket. But this is kind
Draw
of goes
this
into,
cue ball into the long rail on the left and shoot this confidently. Don't try to roll it. Don't try to hit it high and avoid the pocket. Draw into the long rail just like that.
It kind of goes into your, if you have the right plan in mind, like even though she ended up short, she had the right plan in mind. And she did have a different shot, even though it wasn't the shot she was planning.
Mm-hmm.
If she had rolled a little further, it would have made the other shot possible a little shorter. She still would have had an opportunity. So her positioning wasn't dependent necessarily on speed because she was bouncing into it. Something
Yep,
Ed here
yeah.
taught me.
I didn't teach you anything.
You
What are
did
talking
teach me
about?
that.
Is the cat out of the bag now? Do people know?
Kia. Yes, that is
Kia,
Ed.
darling.
And for people just tuning in, all right, we have Ed Ladawi gracing us with his presence here
Oh, boy,
at
please.
Bluegrass Billiards.
It's a pleasure to be here. Now we see the wing ball went straight in. One ball tracked to the center of the short rail up top. And there's a decent shot. Cue ball went up table as well, so she has a decent cut on the one. It's not as bad as it looks on your screen at home. The one ball is far enough from the rail to play the shot
Yeah, it looks pretty
and go
tough.
back down table for the 2 ball.
It looks tough.
However,
On the screen, it looks tough.
right on the screen it looks tough. It's not as tough in,
Yeah, she
in
can-
person.
She's playing
It's
safe.
playable.
Nope, just kidding. I thought she
And
was
straight
playing
line
safe.
up for the 2 ball in the side pocket.
Beautifully done.
It is a nice layout on the table. Now, she won that last rack on the hill. It's actually 4-1 now on the hill, and broke in control with full confidence and momentum in her favor. Even though she faltered on a couple shots the last rack, she was able to pull out of it. Both players heavily fatigued now and working on a second wind. Some of them on their third
Oh,
second
jeez.
wind, and that's that.
And look
Fatigue.
at that. Look at,
A little bit off.
but look at that. Look at the way it played. I wouldn't call that a bad roll. That's just unfortunate for Nicole because Briana was planning on getting on that side of the 5.
Now, if you don't call that a bad roll, would you say Briana got lucky?
Yes.
So one way or another, there's a luck factor involved.
I would say Briana got
Yeah.
lucky with the lead, yeah.
Right.
But I wouldn't call it a bad roll.
Was it lucky or was it a
I consider a bad roll if the table
Good choice.
isn't like level or if it slow
well,
rolls
I agree
and
with that
tucks,
too.
tucks
Yeah, that's another
behind a
way.
ball, like that is a bad roll. But if somebody gets lucky or however you want to put it, unfortunate, however it is, I mean,
It's all part of the game.
yeah, but I wouldn't call it a bad roll.
And you'd be surprised of how many times you always remember when it rolls against you, but you don't remember when it rolls with you. So it balances out over time.
It does. It definitely does. All right. Briana having a chance to close out the match here. Everything looks good. She's only had a couple of flukes in probably each of these racks where she should have had it. But she looks like she's in her rhythm right now.
Nice clean
That
shot
was-
there on the 6
and
ball.
that
Good
was-
speed with the cue ball for the 7 here.
That
A
was
little bit overrun, but she can just hold in that area and accept the shot on the knot.
that was the toughest shot from what she had left.
She hit it a little
this
softer
is-
where she wanted to be, then
Yeah.
she would have followed into the long rail on the right hand side of your screen to go into the line of the 9 ball, but she's just going to settle for a shot from the rail.
This is also something to keep in mind. The way she played it, she wasn't trying to leave herself on the upper side of the side pocket because she would have to reach more. She was taking the longer shot to give her an easier reach, which the reach actually
And it goes clean.
it's a good thing for me actually to learn from.
That's a set, folks. Briana Miller victorious over Nicole Nester. Both players struggling in the wee hours of the night as we're dwindling down to our finalists here. Briana will advance